What's up guys, welcome back to another video. And since some of y'all are feeling a little adventurous with the clipper, I'm gonna show you guys how to do a bald fade. Alright, now before you do anything, I want you guys to just get your comb and just comb out any knots or entanglements you see throughout your hair. Now while you guys are doing this, I want you to locate the crown of your head, which is basically the swirly part on the back of your head. Some people's are dead in the middle, some people's are more left, more right, more up, more down, but just for reference I put it just right in the middle. And I want you guys to find the recession of your head, which is basically the corner of your forehead. It's pretty easy to find, just look in the mirror and it's there. And in today's video, we're only doing the sides, so if you have longer hair on top, just section out everything that's above the crown of your head and the recession. So if you have clips, just clip it back. If you don't have clips, you could get another comb and just kind of just do that with it, make it stay. Also, throughout the video, you're going to hear me say terms like open and closed. So when you look at your clipper and the lever is faced towards the belly, that means it's closed. When the lever is leveled with the back of the clipper, that means it's open. Now the first thing you want to do before starting a fade, and I recommend, is to clear the bulk. So I have the 3 guard on and it's closed. And I'm just working right under the recession in the crown area. Now the reason why I recommend clearing out the bulk first is because I like to know what I'm fading into. Since this is a 3 guard, now I know that I have to work up to a 3 guard. Rather than if you just go straight to a bald line and there's hella hair just hanging out, you're not gonna know what you're fading into when it's kind of intimidating. So again, I am using a number 3 on the sides. If you want, you can use a number 2, you can use a number 4. It's all according to your preference or your client's preference. But when barbers are working with the sides, we're typically not going past the 4 guard. So as long as you have a clear base, then you're good to go. So since we are doing a mid bald fade, I got my clipper, put it in the closed position, and I started around eyebrow length, work my way around, and then I let it drop right below the occipital bone. Now the reason why I let the bald guideline drop towards the back is because number 1, I don't want the bald line to pass the occipital bone. Now the occipital bone is the bone that just sticks out in the back of your head, and in some people, it sticks out more than others. So if you put that guideline past the occipital bone, you're just gonna show it. And as barbers, you kind of want to mask that. And the way to mask that is with the length of hair on the sides. And number 2, you want to give yourself the same amount of room to fade from the bald guideline to the crown, from this part of the bald guideline to the recession. Now, if this is your first time ever doing a bald fade, you might be tempted to just take your guideline and just go straight across. Now with some people, a straight guideline might work for them, but then again, every person's head is not the same. So you're gonna have to contour that person's fade into how their head shape is. And a good way to check if your guideline is parallel with the crown and the recession is you could get 4 fingers, 3 fingers, depending how big your fingers are, and just kind of align it. So I can see from the crown to the bottom guideline is about 4 fingers. And from the recession to the bottom guideline on this side, it's about 4 fingers. So if you were to bring that guideline straight across, that guideline might end up here. And as you can see, that's like really close to the crown and you're not gonna have enough room to fade into that. Okay, now here comes the fun part. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up your clipper and you're gonna go about 1/2 inch to 1 inch up from the first guideline. And when you're creating a second guideline, you wanna try to stay away from digging into the scalp and more so have the belly of the blade rest on the scalp and just go towards the ceiling and kind of away from yourself. Now if this is your first time doing this, I recommend you just going slow. Just kind of get that feel of going up and out, up and out, up and out, and really try getting that muscle memory down. Okay, now that we have 2 distinct lines that we created the first bald line right here, and we created the second guideline about 1 inch above that. And since we recreated this first bald line with the clipper closed, we're gonna open it about 1/4 open, and we're gonna go about 1/4 of an inch up from that first guideline. Now you're about to open up your clipper about halfway, and you're gonna go about another 1/4 inch up towards the second guideline. And now you're gonna get your clipper, you're gonna have it about 3/4 of the way open, And instead of fading up, I want you to fade at an angle. Usually I find myself creating more guidelines at this part of the fade. So when you have an angle, it's not going to create such a harsh line. And it should blend right underneath that second guideline. And as you guys see here, I've marked the steps of this part of the fade. So here's the bulk guideline, here's the clipper, quarter of the way open, the clipper halfway open, and then going up 3/4 of the way open, and then up to the second guideline. And now that you follow throughout all the steps, this is what a lot of barbers call lever play. What you're gonna do is gonna open and close the lever as you please, taking away a lot of dark spots. Now the trick to this part is using the corners of the blade. When you have it flush, when you have the blade flush towards the scalp, you're taking away more hair. If you have it at an angle and using the corners, you're taking away less hair. So it's a good way to work in between the lines. Okay, now we're gonna put our number 1 guard on. We're gonna have the lever open, and we're gonna go another inch up from the second guideline. And remember to still have that motion of going up towards the ceiling and pulling out right when we hit that 1 inch mark. Now when it comes to the 1 guard and up, you won't need to be as tedious with lever work. So all it is just open and close, open and close. Now when you're taking out a guideline, you can't just stay where the line is and just flick at it. You're going to have to go above it. So with the 1 closed, I'm literally going right under that 3rd guideline. So on a real client, you're still gonna see that 2nd guideline just like right there. So what you're gonna do to take that out is you're gonna have the 1/16 guard. You're gonna have it open and you're gonna fade at an angle again, right under that 1 closed. Then you're gonna have it halfway open. Go right under that 16 guard open. Then you're gonna close it. And then again, I don't wanna make another guideline with this closed, which you might. So I'm gonna use the corners and fade at an angle. Now when it comes to doing a Baldfade, you gotta understand that all your guards are not gonna be exact. For instance, this half guard close might not take away this 2nd guideline. So what I have to do is I'm gonna have to take off the guard, go back to my blade, have it open, and again, just use the corners and the angle of my blade just to take away that faint guideline. Now that we worked our way from the bottom guideline all the way to the 1 open, this is the part of the fade where I personally like fading down from the ridge or the top of the side of your head down to the 1 open. The reason why I stop fading up at the 1 open and start fading down is because this is where your fade starts to stop. This is basically the transition area where you start seeing the light blending into the dark. And since I know I started this haircut with the 3 on the sides, I'm gonna get my 2 open. I'm gonna work right under that 3 at an angle. Now I'm gonna close it all the way and work right under that 2 open. Next I get my 1.5 guard, have it open, and start working right under there. Now I'm gonna have the clipper fully closed. I'm gonna work right at that line and flicking up. Then again, you still might see a line, so I'm gonna go back to my 1 open. I'm gonna work now at an angle and use a lot of the corners. Now if you want to take this fade a step further and you have the tools, you could grab your shaver and just work about like half an inch under where you put your first guideline. So I put demarcations on where that bald line might be, right under the first guideline you put in the beginning. And what you're gonna do to take away that line is you're gonna go down on it, and it's called the peppering technique. So you're gonna go down just like you're peppering a chicken or whatever you want to pepper. Alright guys, so here's the before And if you guys follow the steps, the fade should look just like this. Now when achieving a nice bald fade, it's going to take time. Don't expect to learn just from this one video. You should expect to learn to get better by putting in the time and the reps. And from time to time you are going to mess up, and that's fine. Honestly, I want you guys to mess up, because if you don't mess up, you're not going to learn. So let's say you gave someone a really bad haircut, and for some odd reason they want to come back to you because they trust you. They're just cheap. Your mindset should be, okay, I gave this person a really bad haircut last time. What can I do to improve? Your mindset should be, okay, I was struggling on this part of the haircut and I messed up. What could I do to prevent that? And that's something called learning. You're not going to grow if you don't learn. So that concludes today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, retweet, and we'll see you guys next time.